Wow, some things are really. Hey guys, we're live. Hey, I'm noticing that looks a little different. We got some format changes, so I gotta change some stuff, man. So Kenny, while you share it around, we're gonna play the share music. I'm gonna work on some. Hi Ashley, hey Brian, Tammy, hello, Dylan, what's up, bud? Thumbs up, Tom. Victoria says howdy boys. Hi Victoria. Frank, hi. Dr. Michael, good evening, you guys. You ready, Kenny?
Sure.
Roll intro. Hello, friends, fans, and faithful followers. Another Tuesday Night Live with the usual suspects, Matt and Kenny, joined by the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Ethan Young. Hi, Ethan. How are you, buddy? You muted.
I'm great. How are you?
Nerd.
Can you hear me?
Muted. Yeah, we got you. Yeah. All right.
I just hope he can make it through this one. He seems to struggle with it.
A little bit, but we're here for him. So
Live out in the woods.
guys, out in the woods, yeah, in Arkansas in late July. I imagine it's unpleasant with snakes and crap. Your hidden snakes.
We got a few of them.
Yeah. So, guys, look, we just rolled intro again. I'm gonna say it. I put a post on my personal tracking page the other day about the preseason. Man, it's preseason for college football. It's preseason for high school football. Those two things right there make me happy as a clam. It's preseason for trackers too. We have a preseason. What are we doing? We're preparing for the season, man. We're looking forward to stuff. We're running the dogs. We're getting in shape. We're buying our gear. So everybody listening has a gear list, things you want to get, supplies, gears, whatever for tracking season. Be sure you are a member of the American Blood Trackers Association because you can get discounts on your gear. Go to the members area. That banner that just rolled was all of our partners. Yes, get your Dan's gear. Get it now. Get your discount from Dan's. You do have to call Dan's and use the code when you call them to enjoy the benefits of the discount. But get it. Conkeys has it. Gundog Supply is offering us a discount. What's the boot company? Oh, boot company, forgive me. Anyway,
Light boots.
Light boots. In fact, I need to order some boots this year, so I just may be enjoying an ABTA members benefit of a light boots discount. So dive in. They're here for us. Let's be there for them, guys. So tonight, we've talked about it a few times in zero depth, relatively topical, talking about some of the realignment. I like to use the word realignment because we're not, which is a restructure. I guess it's a semantic battle, but it's a realignment to position us to best manage the growth and deliver the best that we can deliver going forward. And it's pretty significant, the work that's been going on behind the scenes under the new alignment, and the work under that new alignment has already begun. And Lethan is part of that, instrumental in that realignment, along with Kenny at the top of the mountain. And then, Ethan right there, and then the rest of us. And I don't mean the rest of us as in insignificant boulders along on the way up to the peak of the mountain. That's not what I'm getting at. It's just an alignment and a structure that is really exciting. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Kenny. You're muted or something. Can't hear you.
My mic, I bumped it. Anyways, as everyone sees, we've been growing rapidly, and with rapid growth, we have to rapidly evolve, or we will fall behind and get disorganized. And so, to stay ahead of that curve, we have taken on a new structure. We now have a nine panel board, and we'll get further into that structure in a minute, but we want to stay ahead of the curve. We want to overhaul, just to meet the demands to better serve our members and the hunting and community. So the reasons why we reorganize is, like I said, a growing member base. As we expand further across the nation, it demands more regional structure. Because you can't do everything from one hub, which means more judges, more teams, more expectations. So the vision was to build a better, more scalable, member-driven future. And that leads into expanding to the 9 voting seats, and we have some advisory roles, and roles like the executive director, operations director, secretary treasurer, testing director, education mentorship, tech, and 2 regional directors. And we did that because we had to build a design that would prevent burnout, share responsibilities, focus on, be able to provide excellent focus in each lane. Because if we don't grow and we don't expand, something is going to fall short, and that's what we didn't want.
Yeah, that's right. If it's we should always be looking to grow and develop and evolve and provide what people are asking for and what people are looking for, and never striving to be better than anybody, but always striving to be the best that we can be. And we spent a lot of time talking about this structure and in the early phases of implementing it and operating within it. And I think it's a structure that is going to prove to make us the best that we can be, with the right people in the right role in the right structure. I think there's a lot of good to come, buddy.
I agree. And Ethan, I can't thank him enough. It's been a daily grind for the last couple of weeks as we're rolling all this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been fun. To your point, every event we seem to go to has been busting at the seams, from both like member attendance for the seminars and the testing. It's been kind of like just hanging on for dear life. But I'm pumped about the future, and I think we have some really cool things in the works. It's been a fun ride.
Yeah, so let's dive into one of them. One that I'm really excited about, that we will be rolling out soon, with a lot of thanks to Emily Nail, the nationwide mentorship program. And how that's going to work on the state and regional mentors, under the mentorship director, which is Emily, and we're looking to launch some local chapters across the country, and provide tactical guidance for apprentices and support veterans and, real world progress. And I know, Matt, you and Ethan both, well, and myself included, but I know you guys have been involved with assisting with this program. So if you guys want to share any insight with that.
Well, and I'm not going to steal Emily's thunder.
Did we lose
by
Matt?
any
Did we
means.
lose me?
What?
Take it away, Matt. My bad.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to steal Emily's thunder at all, but the work that she has done, she shared some of that with me, because our roles, there are elements of our roles that we'll collaborate on to support. And she shared with me her initial rollout, and I'm here to tell you, her first initial layout of the vision for the mentorship program, if executed accordingly, it's going to be a banger, man. It's going to be very good. It is going to be very good, and the only thing that's going to make it not good is a poor execution on our part. So yeah, there's a little bit of internal pressure. I put it out there with 41 active viewers right now. Steal it. Go ahead, Matthew Berger, Emily. So I'm not stealing anything, Emily. All I'm going to tell you is the work that you did is I'm going to use my favorite word to describe things that I really like: masterful. It was great stuff. Go ahead, Ethan. I know you were involved with some of that too.
Yeah, she's put a whole lot of thought into it, and she came out of the gate swinging. It's super thorough, and I think it's going to be just a super great asset for new people, especially getting into tracking and making sure they're doing it the right way. I don't know. I'm pumped for it.
Well, for sure, and it's going to be very interactive too, not and very engaging, a bidirectional engagement. When it comes together. And Emily, I am stealing it a little bit, but it's going to be epic. She just commented it's going to be epic, and I think you're right. I think you're right, Emily. It's going to be very good. So
yeah, and it's not just you guys don't think it's just training for the apprentices that are wanting to be in this program. No. There's going to be training for the mentors. You're going to learn from your apprentices. I mean, I learn with every person I help. So, if you are interested in becoming a mentor or an apprentice, get with Emily.
Yeah. So we're talking about apprentice in terms of a tracking apprentice.
Yes.
Yeah, because the mentorship program, we talked about the mentorship program a little bit in the judges' development and judging process, which still exists. But what we're talking about here, what Emily is championing, is the mentorship director with a really solid committee, some of which are listening and commenting now. It's a tracker development in essence in what it is, and like you said, it's bi-directional. That's what's great about this stuff, because it's only going to make the mentors better too by engaging and not forcing them, but putting them in a position to, when you can teach it, that's when you really learn, where you get a lot of learning too. So it's going to, but it just inherent in the process, it's going to make the mentor stronger by them preparing and helping to make the new trackers, their mentees, which is a word I hate, but is what it is, their mentees better, but you can tell I get stoked about it because I start babbling and rambling and repeating myself. So,
yeah, it's going to be great. It's also going to really build the community, put the whole tracking community in a stronger position as relationships start growing and networks start growing.
Yep.
So now we'll talk about the next one, Matt. This is your baby. The education. That's another word you love. The education events overhaul.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll comment on that a little bit too. Is first of all, I was taken aback that I was asked to assume that role. And prior to that, there was an events committee, but there was not an events director. So there were committees that are operating as independent committees with no director. I'll say oversight, but that's way too authoritarian of a word. But for the sake of conversation here, I'll just use the word no director oversight. And the events committee with Kayla and Lyle and geez, I think Ralph was on it. I forget, Emily was on it. There were a lot of people that had really put together a really solid foundation for education. So under the education director umbrella is responsibility for educational material, seminar material, development material, and event coordination. So the events committee was existing and did some masterful work. So there's my favorite word again. I enjoyed the benefit of having a really solid foundation built by the events committee chaired by Kayla and co-chaired by Lyle and supported by Emily and several others. So there's some really good stuff there. So going forward, we have a lot of plans and ideas. We had a great conversation last night as we prepare for the Iowa event that's coming up. In terms of seminar and event content that we'll be able to create this library over time, which is already there, but we're going to continue to refine it and find new and engaging ways to build and present material and new and engaging material. We're in the deer tracking world, so there's only so many ways to slice the pie, but how do we talk about things that have already been talked about, but present them in a way that may present a nuance that hasn't been generally presented before. How do we find an element of something that hasn't been looked at from that perspective before, while still in the it still subscribes to the general conventional wisdom, I'll say, but maybe gets you to look at things in a different perspective. It gives you a different way how you can apply some of the things that you've learned in the past. So finding those little nuances is really something that's important to me. And I think we have some really neat and exciting things coming. We kind of tested that theory a little bit based on my own stubbornness and insistence on the Michigan event. And but it's all stuff that Kenny and Ethan, you guys have been doing for a while in your training. As you're training dogs, and if we just start taking that and applying that and making it tangible and applicable to handlers, and let them see that, oh, I get it now. Those are the things that you can tell that I get passionate about that stuff. Redefining practice lines. What are you doing? Are you going out there and just following your dog, or are you really diving in and trying to find a way to analyze what you're doing to make yourself the best that you can be? And there are ways to do that can be really fun. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But it gives you another way to look at something, another perspective on things, and maybe you take one morsel away, and if that's the case, then it was beneficial. So I'm really excited about the educational piece, and the events, and the drills and demos, and all of that stuff, because and eventually maybe some quarterly webinars, and member-based webinars, another reason to join the ABTA, because there'll be some exclusive content for members over time. So yeah, I'm super stoked about it, and I appreciate being afforded the opportunity, and fingers crossed, I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah, and one of our goals, I'm getting ahead, for 2026 and the seminars, obviously, is to expand upon what we've done this year with the more in the field classes, or I shouldn't say classes, drills. We're going to expand on that with some actual breakout session classes. Yep. We're going to focus on training with a purpose, not just going out there and running lines, but training with a purpose.
Yep.
And Ethan probably fill you in on a little bit of that, because he's already preparing for his event, and already building in some of this structure.
Yeah, that's in March. We had that venue locked down a year in advance, and I've been reaching out, trying to gather my boots on the ground for that area. It's going to be a big one, but we can't ruin all the surprises on our outdoor workshops. But it will be cool, and it will be 100% applicable. I know personally, when I got started, there was some resources. There were some resources on the internet, and nothing seemed to really help me feel confident behind my dog until I got a hold of a mentor. Circling back to Emily's program she's championed, but nothing really gave me a lot of clarity on what's going on until my dog kind of happened to get really good on his own and teaching me things, and I came across a good mentor, and I could be around them and see good dogs work, and learn what to take with a grain of salt, and I guess what to just totally ignore, because the internet is full of stuff, in my opinion, to use a good term. And these demos and drills, as Matt has kind of coined them, we can just go out and have firsthand experience of testing things, showing dogs trailing tendencies, their line tendencies, loss, reacquisition, drift, return, whatever, all these things in person with multiple dogs, and just get a big volume of experience that you don't get just by, like you said, sitting in a classroom or chatting on the internet or what have you. I'm super pumped for those.
Now, I want to clarify just a little, or qualify a little bit. There is value in classroom material.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
There is
But
a
you tie
place
it
for
together.
it and there's value in it. It kind of sets a foundation. But to your point, Ethan, yes, and Kenny, a big focus for 2026 is taking as much of that, and getting it in the field for the demos and drills as practical. So and I kind of coined Ethan our drill commander. Just some of the things. But again, I'm really stoked about the things that we talked about last night, guys, for Iowa, and those are just going to become bullets in our gun for everything going forward. And I really think some of it I just get so excited about it because I think some of it's going to make people go, "Oh my God, I didn't know that, or I never thought of that, or I can't believe that." I honestly believe that's going to be the case.
Yeah, we came together last night, and there's going to be some really good ones in Iowa that we have not done anywhere else yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what they are. There's going to be some really good ones.
Yes, there sure is. We're not going to tell you what they are, but we are going to tease it. They're going to be some good stuff. So,
very eye-opening.
But hey, Kenny, before we proceed, we talked about yours and Ethan's roles, and why don't you outline them so people understand why we brought Ethan in as in essence a second in command? As you're kind of walking through the directors, why don't we just talk? Outline yours and Ethan's roles.
Yeah. So basically, I don't really consider it second in command. Ethan and I are working hand in hand. Ethan is more operational focused. Kind of working with everyone that's more boots on the ground, I guess you'd say. And then he and I were just we're working together on everything, honestly.
Yeah, and as well it should be, but we still have roles, right?
Yeah.
We still have roles.
I don't have them pulled up to give definitions because I wasn't prepared.
No, but that's okay. Yeah. You are the executive director.
Yes.
You're the XO, the executive officer, the executive. Ethan is the director of operations. So if you think about it, although we don't operate like a corporate org chart, so to speak, we're a little bit flatter than that, or we operate. But from organizationally, if you were to build an org chart, it would look like Kenny as a CEO, Ethan as the director of operations, then with all of the discipline directors, in essence, reporting up to Ethan. Now we operate more flat than that, but that is the structure, and really, I think it's a good structure. And
I have it pulled up now. So the executive director leads strategic vision, partnerships, and organizational oversight. Represents ABTA publicly, manages long-term planning, supervises overall board and ensures policy compliance. And the operations director serves as an extension of the executive director, working closely to implement ABTA's strategy and daily functions, manages day-to-day organizational operations and internal communications, and supports the execution of board initiatives and helps manage follow-through on directives.
There you go.
Or as I call it, the Chief Kenny Wrangling Officer.
That's what I say. Somebody's got to keep Kenny between the ditches. Kenny, slow her down. Pump the brakes, bro. And we mean that in a very good way because you really do set a vision and set a lot of stuff out there. It's just a man, we're going to make Ethan kind of filter that stuff and figure out what can go through the filter, what needs to go on the shelf to wait till we're done chewing the stuff we've already got. But
so far that filter screen is really big because I keep throwing at it and it keeps going through.
Yeah, I know. I got to talk to you about that.
The way I see it is I kind of have a real servant role to all the directors, including the executive director. But like I'm getting put in all the committees just to kind of be an advocate for the ABTA while these directors and committees take ownership of their programs that they're developing and championing. And so I kind of have the cool job. I just get to hang out with everybody and make sure
Yeah.
everybody's rowing in the same direction.
Yeah.
So
And that's going to be a pretty easy job for you with the crew. with the crew. I mean,
Squad.
the director level, Kenny, you got your hands full, but I'm teasing, buddy. Go ahead, Kenny. You were going to say something?
yeah, so we'll just roll right into the next one that Ethan has been pretty hands-on, and this is going to be a big one for 2026. Is the judge development revolution is what I titled it. So we have revamped our testing documents and procedures, and we filled some gaps and tied some ends and dotted I's and crossed T's. To ensure that we are operating at the highest level ethical standards that we can. So with that, while Ethan was working on that, and we were all a part of it as part of the testing committee, part of that's going to be some new judges training and continuing education. Correct, Ethan?
Yeah. Yeah, we put together, we basically took our test program and aligned it with the kind of training we want our apprentices, applicants, and judges. Those are kind of the three stages. We want all of them to be going through to make sure that there's a lot of standardization and a giant lack of politics or individual biases or swaying out of it. We want everybody to be just on their game with laying these lines to standards and giving good quality feedback to everybody, to where it's not just I either got a ribbon or I got to have lunch and go home. We want people to come away with a ribbon or a lesson or both, even better if that can happen. And we've kind of digitized that apprenticeship process into an online course that it kind of, we've married kind of mentorship and apprentices with that online course, and I think it's going to be a big step up in the quality of output for judges, and the speed at their development, I think, is going to be a whole lot faster and just clear for everybody as they go through it.
And consistency. Yep.
Yeah, faster, but we are not going to sacrifice the quality of the training.
Yeah, and that's why I'd say more, efficient, not necessarily, because good's more important than fast, but we want to do fast. We want to do good efficiently.
Yeah, and with that training course, it's basically, it's putting everything in order, and so sometimes things get missed. Like people forget to teach someone how to map out a line and get the maximum usage out of a piece of land. That's a key element.
Yeah.
And it, a started level judge may not need that right now, but they will eventually. So let's teach it at that level where they can start utilizing it on even their private test and pre-mapping and planning. And then when they get that upper level where they're out there hosting testing events, they know what to do.
I agree. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's going to be unique too, in a really, really cool way.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so the next thing that we're going to see, and we've already started this, but we're going to expand upon it, is the committees for member involvement. We want the members to be active, and if you want to see something, or you want to help drive change or just bring something to the table, the best way to do it is get involved with these committees. It's not super time consuming. There may be times with certain committees where it's a little more time consuming than others. I mean, when we first started the testing committee, it was an hour and a half to 2 hours every week. And now it's, maybe every few weeks, an hour every few weeks. So some of those committees, the events committee, testing committee, mentorship, membership or members benefits committee. That's one that we could really use some help with that. If anyone out there wants to participate, and that would be a good one. Yeah, and we're going to form more. We have more coming. And this, you guys can help shape our future in the future of tracking.
Yeah, that's for sure. It does take a village, and we want to be inclusive. We want to, so I agree. If anybody's interested in contributing to the mission and objectives of the ABTA, there's an opportunity for you.
Yeah, and so pull something up, but before we get going into talking about some more in depth on the 2026 plan, I want to pull up our mission, because part of this we did change the mission a little bit. You already have it up, Matt?
I've got the whole website up, and at some point I kind of want to just roll through it and we'll share it. But mission statement, yeah, right here. I will share now this part for the mission statement. There it is, right there. And I'll go solo layout on that just so people can see it. But there's the mission statement right here.
Yep. To raise the standard of wound and game recovery by building a nationwide network of proven trackers, teams who train with purpose, test with integrity, recover ethically, and mentor the next generation.
There you go. Yep. Like I said,
everything we just talked about, all in
one thing there. We'll roll through the new website layout, because part of this realignment and refresh is refreshing of the website, and I think it looks great. So I want to debut it a little bit here. But go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So I want to go on to the 2026 plan, where this is going, and Ethan and I have actually already started on the 2027 plan a little bit. That's Ethan pumping the brakes and saying, "Hey, let's put this in the 2027 plan."
Yeah. Wrangling Kenny, yes.
Actually, it was one of his ideas. More wrangling himself, I think.
Okay.
All right, we'll just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
So the 2026 plan, probably one of the biggest ones is fully functioning state chapters. And what that's going to look like is we now have a northern regional director, and a southern regional director. The northern is Joe Tenney. He's in Ohio, and the southern is Coda Stewart in Georgia.
Yep.
And the states have been divided up, and we will be reaching out, or if you guys are interested, we're going to have a liaison for each state that will kind of spearhead the state chapter. So which will also be the hub for the regional mentorship hub. Because obviously, I mean, I don't know all the trackers in Kansas, where if we had a state liaison in Kansas, they're going to know, hey, this person here would be a solid mentor. So that's kind of the direction it's going to tie that in as well. Another one that Matt, you really don't even know all the details on this one yet, but Ethan and I, we had to spend a couple hours with Kayla today working on some stuff. And one of the things coming is a map, a tracker map.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a 2-phase system. I'm going to start working on that. I've got a couple of days of some more website development stuff. Then I'll start on the map. I will say it's not just going to be pay your dues and get on the map.
No, yeah, good.
You know, there will be teams that have tested and certified, and we're looking at some different options on color coding people based on that. But anyways, that's the goal is to have that rolled out prior to. I don't want to say prior to season because Florida starts this weekend in South Florida, but it's going to come very quick. Kayla's working on getting that list together, and I will start building the map here within the next couple of days.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you've already touched on some of the webinars for the 2026 plan. And this might be pretty bold, but I'm just going to say it. The goal is to be the most respected certification process in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with setting your sights high. I mean, why would we not strive to be the best that we can be?
Yep. And I'm not saying that.
Paint us a picture of that, Kenny.
Well, kind of what we talked about. We're really ramping up on our training of our judges, right, and our apprentices, I should say. We're going to start having some regular judges training and meetings, and we even talked about some annual meetups where we get out in the field and we have hands-on, boots on the ground training, test development. We've already started on another one.
So another one meeting another test. Right now it's in concept.
Yes.
It might be slightly more than concept phase.
2029.
2029.
About 2029 and 2027, but it's John and I are rocking and rolling on it.
Okay. All right. Let's chew what we got in our mouth first. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
No, but I know kind of what you're talking about. We've talked about it a little bit, and it really is going to be pretty cool. It really is.
Yeah. There's a lot in the works, and obviously some of it is going to be delayed. I mean, this isn't. I'm already working on stuff for 2027. I think you guys know I've been working about 10 to 12 hours a day for the last few days, to get this 2026 plan rolling before season.
Yeah, I mean we're already for 2026. I mean we're already penciling in, and the events schedule is starting to develop. We know what that looks like. We know what it's starting to look like. It's still going to flux, but yeah, I mean we're well into 2026 right now, for sure.
Yeah, we've already got a lot of events lined up.
Yeah, penciled in, and all subject to development. But we have the map.
Oh yeah,
and they're not all filled in yet. There's still some things to come on that, but yeah, it's exciting, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So do you want to, I know you said you wanted to go over the website, or do you want to hit some comments first?
No, let me stir the website, just kind of a debut here, so to speak, and maybe that'll prompt some comments. But I like it. In the one comment, since we're there, let's pull it up. Wesley. I was on the new site the other day looking at t-shirts. I think the new website design is very cool and has more modern and engaging feel. And that word right there, engaging, that's one of the words that I think I was using when Kenny put it up. And I said, yeah, man, I couldn't come up with it, but it just has a relatable feel to it. It made it engaging. So let me just bring it up. So, the website, we have, or the homepage, new picture, very relatable, feel very, very, we've all had this moment with a dog, and that's my dear friend Daryl in Oakley, and I just love that picture, and I'm not going to read everything, but I'm gonna give you just a scroll through, and you can get a feel for what it looks like, man, and the information that's available there. Yeah, I would encourage everybody to go to the website AmericanBloodTrackers.org and see for yourself. Some testimonials there about us. That's where our mission statement lives: raising the standard for blood tracking nationwide. Yes, that is our goal. That is part of our mission. We have the mission statement right here that Kenny just talked about. Core values. Yes, we have core values. Everything that we do should point to one of these core values. If you see us doing something that you cannot point to one or more of these core values, you need to call us out on it, hold us accountable to our actions to ensure that they are aligned with the core values as we have them published right here. And I'm going to ask you guys to take the time to read them, because it is, I believe very strongly in them. And I feel very strongly executing against them. Testing information, just again, a nice layout. Here's why certification matters. Is testing for you? I don't know, maybe not. But here's why certification matters, and take a look at it and consider it. Events. Go to the events tab. Another little explanation of events, kind of some comparison why are the ABTA seminars different, and I kind of outlined some of that. Some of the things that we're striving very hard to do is to find ways to present information in ways that you haven't seen it before, and it's going to be hard to do. It's a challenge. But it's good stuff. And this is where you can find the forthcoming events. We have Iowa in September, and then we've already got 2026 on there, the Alabama event on May 2nd, 2026. Podcasts and videos. Again, the page in development, but, there's a couple links there, some of the stuff. Oh, look, it's me and Kayla, and me and Kenny and Ethan again. Look at that, the trifecta. Here's the Find the Tracker. That's where the map will be. It's not there yet. Right now, you can utilize the tracker app. I really like this one, not only because of the pretty face right there at the top of the page, but I like what it's about, and it gives you a peek behind the curtain as to who the board. It personalizes. Makes it relatable of who the ABTA board members are, and it walks through. And Kenny, I thought this was really, really great the way you did this. Putting pictures. We're not just suit and tie people. None of us are. We're bloody hands and muddy boots people. Who track deer. So it gives you the board members, a picture of them in a recovery, and in a explanation or a job description for their role, and I like that. It gives you publicly our official bylaws. You can check that out. Gives a little bit about what we're about right here, and then of course you can shop, and then the members area. If you are a member, you will get. I can't let anybody screenshot those codes that aren't members, but that's where you can get your. That's where you can get your membership code. So anyway, it's a new look. It's a new feel. I like it a lot. And Kenny, I appreciate the hard work you put in there, and it'll continue to evolve as needed. You know, there'll be stuff added all the time.
Yeah. And another thing to mention is there's a pretty significant savings on testing through the members benefit or members page. There is a code in there where you will save $50 on every test.
Yep. If you're a member, that's right. That's a good point. If you're a member, you want to test, be sure you are, you know, get that code so you can get your $50 off.
Yeah, and coming in 2026, there will be a early registration discount code for events. Most of them are already in place and ready to go as soon as we roll out the events. And you know, if you pre-register, we haven't set a date yet, but probably about 30 days before the event, if you pre-register, you will save $25. Yeah. And on top of that, we're rolling out some family discounts, and you know, we're also looking at some children under certain age options.
Yep. So yeah, I don't know. We have a few comments here. I already pulled Wesley's up. Chuck Darby, the boots on the ground would really help with hands-on, guys and gals, as for laying lines. Yeah, okay. Yep. And Chuck, that will come from the regional stuff that's in development, and then the annual judges meetup. You know, whatever we're going to call that, the judges rendezvous. I don't know, but that's all forthcoming stuff, and it's for that reason. Get everybody together, get mud on your boots, and we won't get blood on our hands. Well, we will too, because there's bound to be a briar bush somewhere that's going to poke somebody. But yeah, Richard Womack, Kenny, 10 to 12 hours a day, that's dedication to tracking. Yeah. That
yeah, just we've got to get it going before tracking season. So, you know, put it in now so I don't have to do that.
Yeah, well, it's honest, and I want to talk about it in a minute. But Wesley says again, how about multi-species tests? As we were talking about new tests in development, multi-species.
Can't give everything away.
I'll mute myself.
I'll mute myself. Sean says, love the slogan, redefining future. That's what we all should strive for. There's a reason the windshield in the truck is bigger than the rear view mirror. You gotta look ahead, man.
That's right.
Emily, that sure would have been boots on the ground. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah, and you know, let's talk about the testing events. That's something we are going to ramp up more of throughout the nation is more testing only events. That's going to be a big push in 2026.
Yeah, for sure. Megan, mentorship committee and member committee. Too much to do to be on both. Asking for a friend.
You can do it.
There you go. Megan, Emily says, go ahead.
We're active in like all of
them. You're allowed to be on
more than one committee, Megan. You're allowed to be on more than one committee. So, yeah. So, you know, that is that's kind of a peek behind the curtain on the reorg, and I don't want to falsely just perpetuate the stream. We don't need to, but there truly is some good stuff. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. There's some good people doing some good work, and anything worth
Matt, not
time.
to cut you off, but I don't want to leave out someone who is instrumental, who may not be seen in the forefront as much as some of us, and that's Lyle Avis.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, why don't you walk through? We never did finish. Why don't you walk through all the director positions, and who they are?
Yeah, I thought about doing that when you had it up on the website, but I'll bring it up now.
Ryan Davis. The answer is yes. You might have just missed it. We are looking for committee members. So if you're interested in participating, give us a shout. Go ahead, Kenny.
Yeah, so we talked about mine and Ethan's roles, and the secretary treasurer, which will also kind of spearhead the membership stuff for now, and she'll be the oversight person for the members committee, is Kayla Tyre. Kayla's a very, very instrumental, key instrumental person in the organization, as is everyone. Testing director is Stacy Frost, which actually we're just texting back and forth now. Then we talked about your role, Matt. Then Emily Nail for the mentorship director. And then the technology director is Lyle Avis, which will manage the association's digital tools, online systems, and infrastructure. Supports tracker tools, event registration, directory systems, and future tech development. And Lyle's our chief nerd.
Yep.
So we got a lot going on, and some of you may have seen it. We have a new process when you sign up, and I don't know if it'll let me screen share, but let me get it pulled up before I try.
Yeah, it will. You'll be able to do it.
So
it'll post up there, and I'll share it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it right now.
Oops.
So let me go back where I can screen share.
Larry, while Kenny's pulling that, I may have missed this part, but how will mentors be assigned? My apologies if you already answered that. We didn't answer that. That is that's all part of the development. It's a WIP, work in progress.
Yeah. So you got it pulled up, Matt?
Yep.
So we've already started this. You see there's 12 responses. But basically, when you sign up or renew your membership next year, you will fill out this form. Of course, it asks a lot of information, new renewal. But here's some things I want to key in on: is tracking experience level. And we're actually adding in another category to that to complement that. Breed you track with? Do you test your dogs? What would you like to get out of your membership? What are the following are the most important to you? You interested in contributing in any way? So there's going to be a lot of information we are going to collect, and I'll show you basically how we'll utilize this. We'll come down here, state of residence, membership type. As we start building this and we see, obviously this is only 12 people, but 58% of those 12 are 1 to 4 seasons of experience. and then about testing, but some things that you want to get out of your membership. And then you come down here, and it's going to show us, what are you here for? What would you like to receive? Obviously education resources is a huge one, conservation advocacy, community and networking, mentorship, which those tie together, professional development. So it lets us know where our focus needs to be, what the members are asking for. And then they go down here asking you're interested in being a judge, and you add to the email list and all that. So we're collecting a lot of stuff that'll help us better serve the members. And this is the one when you sign up for an event next year, some of the stuff that we collect, this is the one I was talking about being added is the total number of career tracks to tie in with the years of experience.
Yep.
And then, we're asking questions like what topics are you interested in learning more about? You can check all of them that you want. And it just lets us know for each event what the people are wanting. And then of course you're going to test. We have some stuff here for testing. So a lot of stuff in the works.
Yep, for sure. So, Kenny, I want to put to that point. Better call Kenny. Joe says better call Lyle and ask him how to screen share, Kenny. But Ray asks, is there a way?
I had several windows open. I didn't because I was going to swap back and forth. I didn't want to choose just that window.
But Ray asks, is there a way for those of us who are already members to fill out the form you were just showing, the membership form? So without having to, re-register as a member.
Yes. So what ends up happening, and because I saw that question pop up, I went and edited the form. When it comes up to membership type, I just added a box that says current member. So just check that, and when you fill this form out, it's going to send you an email, a follow-up email with links to join. Just don't join those. And when we see that box is checked that you're a current member, we'll know not to contact you or bug you about membership dues. So it would be great if everyone would go fill that out so we can get that information.
Yeah, I would encourage people to do it too. Where did you add that button, Kenny?
The join now.
I clicked.
That's someone saying hi.
Oh, hey, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. So yeah, it's on the website. Join the movement for less than 7 cents a day. Join today. Maybe that's for the.
Yeah, and if you just click there, either one of those, it'll allow you to fill out that form.
Yep. Okay. Cool. No, that'd be good. That'd be really cool to collect that current member data. So Victoria asks, heading into the end of the year, are there any new implementations for 2025, or is everything slated to roll out in 2026?
So my goal is to have that tracker map rolled out in 2025. And we'll see. I don't want to speak for Emily, but I'm going to. I believe we're going to do a soft rollout of the mentorship program. Ethan's pumping the brakes on her. She's ready to just fly.
I didn't pump the brakes on her.
I'm just messing with you.
Well, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, and we're already implementing some of it in terms of, with the Iowa event, as we are closing out the seminar season with our grand finale in Iowa, and it's shaping up to be a really good deal. We had the Iowa team on last week and talked about the stuff. There's been a lot of a lot of activity in the Iowa planning chat, which includes everybody here that you see on your screen, and the guys that you saw on your screen last week. The Iowa team is doing a really good job, setting it up, and Kenny's done a really good job of providing some promotional material, and I think we had a really good meeting last night talking about the demos and drills. It's gonna be good. We're gonna close with a bang. I have all the confidence in that in terms of the seminar season. So,
yeah, I mean, you gave Ethan and I a deadline of August 12th, and I think we blew that away.
Yep. Well, August 12th. Now hold on. I'm gonna be a Kenny Wrangler for a minute. The August 12th date was to have all of the slide presentations done. So
I just got to send them to you.
It was an August 5th, I think, for the topics in drills and demos. And we did blow that away. Now we got to get the presentations done by August 12th. Or no, August 12th. That's it. We'll get them in the library. And I know we'll get them. But
yeah, they're done. I'm gonna triple check them.
Yeah, triple check them. I mean, you got time. I'm gonna rush, and I would like to get them in an Iowa folder, and then you can keep a copy, of course. But I would like to get them in an Iowa folder and add them to the general library. So yeah, it's gonna be good, and I'm excited about it. So. Emily says, I'm working as hard as I can to have it ready to roll out in a week or two. Is it a week or is it two, Emily? Details matter.
That's unacceptable.
Deadline, man.
Here I am bragging you up about how great you are, and you're like, in a week or two. Oh, my gosh. Ethan, you want to get control of that, Director of Operations?
Yeah, I'm on
it. Next, she's going to blame her work or something.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, John Milton says that he and Gus are probably going to make the Iowa event. So testing for the level 3. Okay, John, God bless you, brother.
Gus has got this.
Oh, I got an interesting text, Kenny. So let's just talk for a little minute here. So, we're in that preseason phase right now, right? We're still welcoming comments and stuff about the structure if anybody wants to, but let's just take a minute at an hour 7 minutes in. We're in. I keep calling it the preseason. Teachers are starting to cringe because they're thinking about going back to work. We're starting to grin like Ethan is because we're thinking about getting in the woods and tracking and thinking about that the college football is coming up on August 30th with like 5 games or something. But, where was I going with this? Just as we're on the cusp of the season, like you said, the end of South Florida, it still baffles me that South Florida starts tracking this weekend. I just don't. That just baffles me. What is going on down there?
They have a super early rut.
Why is it so early down there? I don't understand. That just seems so counterintuitive to me.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Our state here is really wild. So South Florida starts now. I mean, in an early rut, and then the rest of the season starts the second week in September, and so then that you'll see that rut kind of start over towards like the Jacksonville East Coast area, and it goes like a wave, and it hits like Tallahassee by early December, and then it just keeps on going through the Panhandle. But then there's a section right in Central Florida that has a late rut like the Panhandle. There's just it's like a 3-county area. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about people hunting in Texas and Mexico and all the, hunting shows, they're in February during the rut. And it's just, I put Florida kind of in the same thing. It just baffles me that, and this is coming from a northerner, man. Deer in love in August, that doesn't compute to me.
No, I went down there one year to hunt, and it was absolutely miserable. For one, in that far southern region, there's just not a lot of canopy. You're sitting out there in palm trees, or you're just walking through the swamp, and it's so hot you don't want to wear snake boots. You're wearing tennis shoes and a bathing suit and tank tops.
Yeah. Good thing I live in Florida, because I wouldn't be able to spell tracking, because I ain't tracking.
Which that made me think about another part of our 2026 plan, which is going to really involve the more local state chapters, is the hunter outreach, and sharing more about what we do, and not only the positive impacts it has towards helping hunters recover deer and conservation, but also, a lot of the knowledge that we learn and we share can help hunters harvest more deer.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
So that's going to be a big initiative in 2026, is to get more active in the local communities. Some wild game dinners, or some church gatherings. Some churches have the hunting gatherings and wild game dinners, and some of the hunter education events. Michael Beck did one a couple weeks ago, so that's going to be a big part of the 2026 plan.
Yeah. Yep. Public engagement, man. I like that. And that's going to be a big part of it. I mean, the vision is big. It really is. And it's the right vision. You should have a big vision. And it's the incremental steps that you take to achieve it is what matters. And it starts with the people in the roles, and everybody willing to help. I mean, there's been several comments here of people interested in supporting a committee. So guys that have chimed in, thank you, man. Just reach out.
Tell them who to reach out to.
Yeah, if you're interested in an events committee, you can reach out to me. If you're interested in membership committee, that'll be Kayla, right?
Hey, Matt, you can toss my email in the chat, and I can distribute people accordingly.
Yes, pretty easy. Ethan at AmericanBloodTrackers.org.
Snazzy.
Yep. You can reach any of us that way. Matt at AmericanBloodTrackers.org. Me at Kenny at AmericanBloodTrackers.org. Any of us, we can all be reached the same way.
You know what? And I like that. Ethan, kind of the committee keeper in terms of committee member distribution and vetting.
You mentioned this kind of organizational chart. I see me as the servant of all the directors, which I'm here for.
Yeah, there you go. I just threw it in there. Ethan at American Blood Trackers for committee interest. So that's great.
Chief foot washer.
What's that?
Ethan is the chief foot washer.
There you go.
Yeah. But kind of what I was getting at is leading into the season, we're kind of getting down to it. Now's the time. If you haven't been out running your dogs, now's the time. If you're not sure what, and we've talked about a ton of stuff a lot, new trackers. Hey man, I haven't had my dog out much. What should I do? Let's see that beautiful draw tower again. Missed him. I was gonna bring that up, but get out, run those dogs, get that stuff ordered. Your gear, your swag, your ABTA hats, your Dan's gear. Utilize those discount codes for your stuff, and it's going to be here before we know it. And Kenny and I have been talking about. We'll roll out what the live streams are going to look like and things like that as the season goes, because going back to the new website with pictures of everybody with their recoveries, we are going to be in the field, but we are not going to be absent, but we are going to be in the field. We are going to be getting mud on our boots and blood on our hands. So we'll be outlining what that looks like. It obviously is going to be a bi-weekly schedule or something. They may not all be true lives like they have been, because we want to track. It's why we got into this, is to track. So we'll be outlining some of that. We're not going away, but we're just going to be busy doing what we've been talking about doing for the last 9 months. So be thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you can don't forget about our audio podcast.
Yeah, and that could be a large part of what we're doing. Just some of the things that Kenny and I have been talking about. We may do reruns. We may do some fan favorites. Which streams had the highest views. People liked it. Let's play them again. Maybe we're going to post, instead of a live stream, maybe it's going to be the audio version of a podcast. We're going to start lining up just true audio podcasts, tracking stories, getting trackers on and just telling tracking stories while we're all driving to and from tracks, on those long drives. Pop in a Spotify ABTA tracker story, those kinds of things. So, hey, there you go. If you're a tracker and you want to share your story, let me know. And we can, the audio recordings allow us more flexibility because they don't have to be done at 7:00 on Tuesday every night. We can, okay, when does it work? Let's knock out an hour on a Saturday afternoon or whatever that turns out to be, but we can start building that library of audio content, or perhaps it's even video content. It can be both. We can do this and record it and play it back later, and then upload the audio like you do now, so just stuff. So it's gonna take on a little bit different form, but the spirit and intent is going to be there, and we are going to be around. Which one? This one?
Yeah.
How about a few blood tracking spouses podcast episodes during peak tracking season? Yeah, I'm not going to let my little red Corvette get on a podcast and start talking about tracking. But that would be.
I know I couldn't get Brandy on a live, but I might be able to get her on an audio to talk about
an audio only. Yeah.
Yeah, she used to be an instrumental part of our team in the field. She would wait at the truck and pick me up on 3 blocks away, but not so much anymore.
I'll host it, Victoria says. Okay. You know what? That's Victoria, you have my wheels turning. I might be in touch with you because I just had a vision. So we may talk about that. So Mike and Kelly both commented, go live on a track. You know what? Maybe we can. It might be boring viewing with listening to me breathe heavily, fall down, and swear and stuff. But we can do that. I saw Kenny went live a couple of years ago, laying a track when you were first rolling out the lives. That's the other thing we thought about, doing some replays of back in the original live stream days. Well, Kenny and Ralph kicking around the table,
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun. Maybe a support group, Charlie Connor says. Yeah, a tracker's wife support group.
That can get
Charlie,
dangerous.
you're not a tracker's wife. You're a tracker, so You just happen to be a tracker's wife too, but you're a tracker. So, yeah, you know what? I'm certainly not opposed at all going live during the season. You know,
just got to be mindful of some things.
Oh, of course, yes. I guess I was thinking more the drive to and from.
Oh,
you know, yeah, for sure. What does Tom say? Love the hunter outreach. I've taken several hunters with me on mock tracks this summer. They thought it was so cool. I did not know about tracking dogs for wounded deer. They may want to go on more. Reaching out to hunters is huge. Yeah, I agree, Tom.
super interesting.
Yeah, and I've had several hunters over the years that has just asked if they could tag along on tracks with me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd welcome it. Okay, so now,
but we're not making detours when they get tired.
No.
I had to get one. His wife came and picked him up at 2 a.m. last year.
Yep. Nope. That's right. So Megan says trackers husbands too. So that's true. So it'll have to be a Victoria. It'll have to be a tracker's spouse because some husbands don't track. Get Ethan to do an interview with Raymond Plummer. He's very knowledgeable about the Catahoulas and very entertaining.
I agree. I love that guy. I have one of his pups, and he is just super awesome. Everything he said about how that dog was gonna physically and mentally and emotionally develop has been spot on. The dude knows his bloodline of dogs, and it's fascinating to me. I'm so down.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things what we talked about early on is I said spouses in the original comment. Sorry, Victoria. My bad, dog. Tracker's spouses, yeah. And I turned it into a tracker's wives. I think Kenny did that. Kenny, you misogynistic goon.
Blame Kenny.
I'm just kidding. Megan, what is I had a landowner go with me on a track last year. He asked to join after we crossed his fence. Then he stayed on for 3 more properties. Yeah. That you had permission to cross, of course. Cool. Well, guys, look, there's fun conversation just kicking around now, but glad to kind of debut and outline the new path going forward. This is although it's new, it's not terribly new to Kenny, Ethan, and I. We've been immersed in this for Kenny 10 to 12 hours a day for the last 2 weeks. Me less than that, but a lot. And it's a labor of love. We set the vision and can execute the vision and start to see it come together, and you start to see you start to see what the work we're doing helps somebody. It's really rewarding, and it's a fulfillment. Like I said, my coaching days was a fulfillment for me, and that's what tracking is now, and that's what being a member of the ABTA is now for me. It's a fulfillment. So I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, one thing I want to add, Matt, is we're not doing this for financial gains. We anyone that knows anything about business or life at all can see we're putting it back into the community.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure. It is. There isn't anything. Yes, it takes money to execute the events and do the things that we want to do, but it's not about making money.
Yeah, and honestly, I know you guys know this as well. Even these events, they don't they don't always, well, they never fully fund the total cost.
They don't cover all of the expenses. They defray it to some degree, and kind of a large degree, but it's never the ABTA is not leaving an event in the black.
No, and
Just
neither
based on the event income or the event fees. I guess I didn't even want to call it income, but the event fees.
Yeah, and the reason I want to touch on that is because people may not realize how much these judges and event staff put out to offer this service to people. And so next time you see them, just think about that. I mean, we put a lot of miles, a lot of hours into it, and I know I sure appreciate what everyone does.
Yeah. Yep, that's for sure. So, man, I got me all fired up. Yeah, I want to start doing tracking stories for audio versions. So if you got a tracking story, shoot me a note. Let's let's set up a time to record it and we'll get some audio stuff out there and start building a library for or a content list for when we are in the field doing what we came here to do. So, Kenny, you see anything you want to display before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I like what Brad said right there. Once they start tracking, they will realize the cost.
I don't know if he's trying to warn us against taking our wives or what.
Yeah, let's just put Larry up here. Just wanted to say I appreciate the support you guys have given me. Kenny's been very patient with me, and I load him with questions. Matt, I appreciate you taking the time to help as well. Yeah, no problem, man. It's what we do. We enjoy doing it.
So Charlie commented earlier, said maybe you can make a 60 meal prep plan so that we don't have to eat a gas station food every night.
That's half the fun.
Yeah. Mine is, and I stole this from my buddy Glenn. I started doing it, and and plus I live a lie that McDonald's chicken nuggets are better for me than a double grease burger. I like to live a lie sometimes, but we go through the McDonald's drive-through and get Brew her chicken nuggets, and with her face hanging out at the drive-through. We do that a lot. It's a lot of fun.
I'd worry my vet would watch this, or I'd tell you what I get from my dogs.
Yeah, we don't do it a lot, but enough. We share a 10-piece, and it's a real pain in the ass driving with a bloodhound wanting to eat every chicken nugget you want to eat.
I mean, just the bloodhound part alone.
Yeah,
get a pit mix.
Hey, I went the whole night without.
Yeah, I know. I thought she was down here. I was gonna make her freaking bark at you or something, but cool. All right, guys. Well, look, hour 28. It's been really good stuff, man. Let's. I think we got some stuff coming as the season draws near. I think we got a couple of guests that we're going to have on. That'll be pretty cool. I'm working on one that I think would be super cool. I'm not sure if it's going to work out or not. So I'm probably teasing it for nothing. But in fact, let me check my email right now. No response. But
if we have any trackers out there that'd like to come on and share their story,
yeah, that's what I mean. Yep, absolutely. Tracking stories. But good stuff. So anyway, closing words, Ethan.
Oh man, I'm pumped. We just had a testing event, and it was an absolute blast. Even though it was 1,000 degrees, we had some good camaraderie and got to see some dogs work, and it got me fired up to do another one. I'm really pumped about that aspect for 2026. Digging into more of these testing events and getting to meet more people.
Yep. Yep, for sure. Kenny, before I throw it to you, Mike says, so my bloodhounds are not the only ones that get McDonald's. Good to know. Haha. Yeah, no, Mike, no, you're not. Tom says, you guys have been hard work behind the scenes. High fives. Keep it up. Thanks, Tom. Really appreciate it, man. And appreciate everybody's support. This stuff is inspiring. It does motivate us to keep going. Just like Ethan said, just the more we do, the more exciting it gets, and the more validating it becomes when we see the positive feedback, and we appreciate that. Tony Hayes, thanks. Strong work for the ABTA. Well, appreciate it, Tony. Kenny, bring us home, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited for everything that's to come. And like I said, we'd love to have the members get more involved on that committee level. I mean, we had one. I'll give a shout out to her from Pennsylvania, Lauren Gear. She brought forward what I felt is a great plan to get more youth involved. So feel free to hop in, send Ethan that email. We can use some help. We got a lot of moving parts, and we'd appreciate the support.
Yep, that's for sure. Yep, for sure. So, all right, guys, I think we'll wrap it up now. I appreciate everybody chiming in, and stay tuned for next week. Shoot us your topic ideas. In fact, I need to get a list. I need to start documenting this down, because I just thought of one that somebody, a gear loadout. I had a request that we do a gear loadout. Kenny, it'll be, your bottle of water, if you remember it, and your Garmin. That's all you're going to get from Kenny. But
if I remember it. I remember my car.
If you remember it, but yeah.
I might forget my bottle of water. I might forget my pistol. I'm gonna have my Garmin and my dog.
Yeah. So
I've gotten pretty far down the road and realized I didn't have my dog in the dog box before.
I have not gotten down the road. Arkansas event recap next week. Yeah, we could probably talk about that a little bit more next week, Ethan. Yeah, we can talk about that a little bit more. Sure. It was a small event, but it was a good one, as you heard Ethan say. It was fun, being the line approver and pass fail, judge. So I enjoyed seeing it happen in real time with Emily and Ethan. So that was fun. Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. But
small event with big impact.
Yeah, it was a small event, but the impact was big. You're right, Kenny, because there was some very tangible impact that came from it.
We had people from 4 or 5 different states, I think, in just that little crowd.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. See, small things make a big difference. Small things make a big difference. So, okay, guys, we'll keep the comments coming. Shoot Ethan emails if you're interested in helping out. You got a content idea or want to come on and share a tracking story, let me know. And we will absolutely work something out, guys. Appreciate everything. Appreciate all the support. More of the good, less of the bad, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.